yeah, so I get a little nervous reading, and I like to just say that because then it kind of disarms it and then it kind of goes away. So, um, but this book I started, after my father passed away, in 2019. He had battled a long addiction to opioids and Xanax, due to like legitimate, I mean, he had a heart attack when he was 36 years old, et cetera, et cetera. So, and so this book kind of is about grief. So a little sad for 10 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, there's a lot about him in here and then my experience of him. Um, yeah, so I'll start with, my father siphons gas. My father siphons gas from a car a few blocks over from where we're living, and I am watching him in our parked car down at the end of the road. This is how I see him in my mind now that I'm older and he is dead. But I don't know if the memory was just a dream. I see myself sitting in the passenger seat of that old blue Buick. When he closed the door behind him, it shook, was louder than he anticipated. The doors heavy, metal, and he stopped for a second, waited to see if anyone would turn on their porch lights. But then, with a hose tucked in his arms, he walked on. Was this a dream? I see myself under a crocheted blanket in the front seat, careful not to move or make any sound. And my father, out there slinking in the night, poor thief, in search of fuel, and then filling his mouth with gasoline. So those are kind of the before times. Before he did a lot of questionable things. Obviously you can't siphon gas anymore. So this is probably the 80s when I was a kid. Yeah, oops. Thank you. Okay, this one is a short one. It's called Black Peaches. Flies in the summer don't have to mean death, like in a still life. Picture me as a child riding my Huffy, pink and gold, down the middle of the street. I ride through a cloud of black flies. What could they mean? Paint this. A bowl of peaches, mostly black, some split, some spilling their insides out into the bowl, and a fly already halfway through its life. Sorry, it's so sad. I'm a very happy person. Okay. Yeah, so this is a poem about a time, so I grew up kind of poor. I don't know if anyone had this experience, but, in the summer, my parents and my uncles would get a hotel room so we could go swimming. So everyone would just get one and we'd all go swimming. And they would party. Because again, this is like the 80s, whatever, not really paying attention to your kids. And we would just do whatever, you know? And so I jumped into the pool one time and this other girl kind of jumped in and took me all the way down. And it was this moment when I came up, I was like, I almost died. But there's like no one there. It was like anticlimactic. It's like this whole thing that happened to me. Okay. Baby siren. Jump into the deep end, feet an arrow to the bottom of the pool. Vibrations from the summer children running on pavement above me, and then their muffled splashes. I am a frog, swimming back to the top, legs kicking, awkward spindles. Another girl jumps in above me, knocks me back down to the depths with her tiny legs. I gulp water, mouth filling. My father must see that I don't arrive back on the surface as planned. He and his brothers drinking Bud, laughing at the motel pool. I try to swim away from the girl's descent. open eyes burning. I don't know if she's afraid or if she's trying to make me afraid, her mouth closing and opening like that talking doll my dad turned on in the middle of the night to scare me, head rotating back and forth. This girl is trying to communicate, but it comes out in bubbles and bursts, almost soundless. I swim up, but she grabs my legs, pulls me back down. She wants me to grow fins, be with her, mermaids forever. But I don't want to stay here. My father must feel me struggling to stay human, must see the sound rise in waves on the surface. The girl climbs up my body, arms around me, hugs that pull me down. But before she has all of me, I force my arms out wide, breaking her embrace, no longer her prisoner. And when I rise to light, finally head above the water, I see my father is nowhere. No. Thank you. Oh, this is a fun one. This one's called Opioid Crisis. Okay. Opioid crisis. I am just like the people who came before me, water wrinkled out of the green, mucky creek. From that watery hole we rose, our teeth already dark, cavitied. No one gave us a penny to rub, or a job to make any. And then my daddy died for 12 hours, foam on his lips like that green creek. I have never gotten over it. He dug holes in the land and he hauled goods long distances until his heart gave out. The doctor pulled it out of his chest and he couldn't do anything anymore. Had to take pills from orange bottles, but had no coins to survive, and then he died from the pills, and I buried him in a different hole in the ground. But I want to go again to that old water, little fish swimming back to the beginning, emerge human, and grab my mother and brothers and daddy and pull them out of the cold earth to start our lives again before he died, and we all had more than 12 hours left to foam. But no coins in our pockets, nothing, only pills to buy the dirt, the ground. This one's fun. This is about shoplifting. I saw a news story, 3 young girls, shoplifters caught. Wanting is not a crime. At 16, I would steal anything I could. Eyeliner, candy, homework, boyfriends. Once I helped steal a toilet from a construction site, and I kissed a boy I didn't know that night. Who knows who he belonged to? I owned nothing. Even my shoes came from my best friend's closet. At least I come by stealing honestly. My father took things from the neighbor's yard to sell. He took gas from their cars. He took money from my grandmother's purse. Stealing is my birthright. When I was a teen, I downloaded a credit card generator, typed in the numbers of each card until one of them worked. I bought clothes, CDs, and once I bought a few cans of duck meat because I had never tried it before. Too oily. Even now, I'm eyeing my neighbor's dog alone on their porch all day, and I have to remind myself that I can buy what I don't have already. What must it be like to be an honest girl? So I saw a news story, in one of the local newspapers. It was a bunch of girls that got caught shoplifting, like eyeliner and stuff like that. And it's just their faces blasted on the front of, I'm like, I did so when I was a teenager, like, it's eyeliner. Let's see. Okay. Okay. This one and then this one. Okay, this is called Things We Believe as Children. I thought that if I believed in God, I would end up a child bride for David Koresh. I dreamed King David told me the firmament lives between your soft, skinny thighs. And I asked him for the difference between life and death, or if someone would eventually burn down a compound with my children inside. I asked him, what if I fall into a grave with no bell tied around my toe? What if I get to the underworld as an overripe fruit? He looked at me through those golden wire-rimmed glasses and asked me, do you want to be a ghost? And then this is also about ghosts. This is called Airspace. Ghosts sit watching planes lifting liminal space. A long time ago, my dad took my brother and I to an airport just to ride the shuttle from one end to another. We watched people board their flights, and then we watched other people claim baggage from the carousel. My dad, fresh shaved, in his 30s, grabbed my face in his hands, so excited to teach me about traveling somewhere else, only to come back home.